today we're going to be working on making this beautiful peasant skirt for our dolls. I hope you come and join me. So here are your 3 pieces of fabric for your doll's skirt. So you're going to need a this piece needs to be folded in half. That is the shorter of the 2 3-inch pieces. And then that piece, you're just going to have it just like that. And then the last piece, which is our bottom ruffle, we're just going to take like this, okay, and we are just going to iron it with our piece of card so that it's coming down on the 1/2 inch like that, and then we'll measure it back under and iron it on the 1/4 inch, just like that, all the way along. And then we're going to take all 3 pieces to the sewing machine. So the first thing we are going to do is to just come over and put the hem onto the bottom of the biggest piece. So that's the bit we folded over. We're just going to stitch all the way along, nice and straight. I've got my ordinary stitch on and I've got it set to a straight stitch. I did a back stitch there. I didn't know if you realised that. And I'm just going along and I'm just wanting to stitch right on the very edge here. This is pretty easy, this skirt. Literally straight stitch all the way along. There we go, so that's that one, do a back stitch. That piece. The next piece, which is this piece which is folded in half, we're just going to take the 2 ends of it like that, put them together, and we're going to fold that across and stitch that at 1/4 inch. And a bit of a back stitch. Okay, I don't think I did a back stitch on that side, so I'll just quickly do a back stitch on that other side. Okay, so now once you've got that done, we're going to come all the way along on this piece, all right, and we're going to come along, but we're going to leave a 1/2 inch to 1 inch opening on this piece here. This is where this is our waistband, and this is where our elastic is going to go. Back stitch, I'm going to come all the way around. Now you don't have to do this, you can just do this when you join it on, but I prefer to do it beforehand. I just find it sits nicer.
Do you want a hot drink or anything?
I've got one over there, thank you, that's very kind of you. Okay, sorry. Sorry, we were just discussing the washing. So I'm just coming around. I'm just going to leave a space there where we go to put the elastic in. So I'm just going to go backwards. Okay, and then take that one out. So now we're going to do some gathering. So we're going to gather this one. So I'm going to change my stitch length, just the length. And I'm going to change that needle so it's over this side, okay? I'm going to put my stitch onto the biggest stitch and I'm just going to go all the way down. You'll find it goes really quickly. You want to keep it on that edge there. These are stitches just for gathering, so we will be taking them out. We'll unpick these afterwards. This will just be used for doing your gathering stitches. I'm going to leave a little bit away from the end because I've just realised I haven't joined my ends. I'm going to join my ends on the other one. I'm just going to leave it there, lift it, take that one out. So what we should have done was join our two ends first. So I'm just going to join my two ends on this piece and then I will go back. So I'm going to change my stitch back to my, and put it on 1/4 of an inch. Just change my stitch length back. Put that one in the middle, put that one on there. Go all the way down and join this, that stitch, and then come all the way down, back stitch. Okay, lift that off, and then take this back and we're going to gather it. So I should have gathered that other one first. I'm not going to do is take my box off. And you can go all the way round with your gathering stitch. Okay, like that. Change your stitch again to your longest stitch and change your needle to the side. I'm going to go all the way around. Just stop there. Don't put any back stitches in it. Pull it out, and then we're going to put it back in. But this time we are going to just move the needle. We are staying the same with the same stitch, but we're going to move our needle. If you watch my needle, I'm going to move it over to that side. If you don't have that, you can just lift your fabric over, okay? And then keep it running so that that is on the edge. What you don't want to do is go over those stitches, otherwise you won't be able to gather it. And I'll just stop there. I think my battery is just about to run out, so I'm just going to come down here, do that one, that stitch, and then come off. And then I'm just going to put in the other row of tacking stitches, which is the one which is going on the bottom of this row here. I'm just going to get that to come in straight, like that, and right over this side as far as I can go. Okay, and I'm just going to run down here around. This might go off, I'll carry on and finish the gathering. So I'm going to be making this skirt for Phoebe, and Phoebe has a waist which is 12.5. Most of the other dolls are roughly about a 12, 11 3/4, that sort of thing. So I'm just going to make mine slightly bigger. So I have to gather my skirt, my first piece of skirt in at that's half of 12.5 is 6 and no, it's not. It's 6 1/4. So I've just got this needs size. I need to bring the whole thing down so that when I'm folding it in half, because it's in half obviously, it needs to be 6 1/4. So let's see if I can gather this in. And if I come up to get you to see it, I'm just going to keep moving it over just to the bottom of the mat so I can see where 6 1/4 is. Okay. So still a bit more, just a little more. There we go. That's just about right, just a tiny bit more. Okay, and I'm just going to put my pin in there, and I'm just going to pull that one in like that. So there, and then I'm going to wrap that around the top and the bottom. There we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. Okay, so that's that piece. That's the top of it. And then just even your gathers out so that you've got gathers. You don't have great big bits here and none in other places. Just go around and make sure it's all sort of evenly gathered around. So that's that one, that's done. And then the second one will be whatever the bottom of this is. And the bottom of this is 24. So you need to have your piece here, because we folded it in half, you're going to have 12. So you've got to gather this down to 12. Let's just make sure I've got the right piece, which I'm pulling. There we go. Okay. So just pull this one in until you get it to 12. And that should fit on the bottom of that, and that should fit on the bottom of that, and we should be laughing. What are we doing now? A bit more. Not quite a bit more, that's 14 and 2 inches in. So 13, another 1 inch. I'm going to come in the other 1 inch on this side. That's that one. And that is 12. Right, so I'm just going to take the threads, get a pin, just like we did with the other side. Put that in, and then we're just going to take the 2 threads here and here and just wrap them around our pin like so. Okay, so that'll stop that unraveling when we're going around, and then we're just going to even out all this ruffle just all the way around. It's pretty easy to do. Okay. Make sure you've got a nice even ruffle all the way around. Don't look, see there's none there at all, so I need to sort of just pull that around a little bit. More. There we are, that's better. Okay, so it's pretty even, and then just check that's not come unraveled too much. No, that's fine. So we're going to now pin this piece here to this piece here. So we want our 2 ends to join up like that. So we've got our 2 seams there. One can go to the left and one can go to the right. And then just pop some pins in all the way around. Okay, and you can sort of work with the gathers there as well if you think that's a bit too much there and not enough there. As you're going around, you can just come in and just pin them and move those gathers around. And you don't need as many pins with the smaller one as you did with the others. And I've just realised that I didn't gather this piece, so I need to gather that piece as well as the other pieces. Silly of me. I know I went on and put a straight stitch on just to hold it in place, but then you need to put gather stitches in just the same as we did. So what I will do is I will take this to sew machine, and then we'll do the gathering, and then we will come back and do the and then we'll pin it whilst we're at the sewing machine rather than muck around with it, because it won't take very much to pin that. And this is a very quick skirt. Okay. Such a fun little outfit this is. I'm probably going to just put 1 bee on this, I think, rather than lots and lots, because they're going to be quite big unless I can find some. I've been trying to look online and seeing what I can find, and I'm not coming up with anything really like what I want, so I might just have one of the bigger bees onto the bottom of the skirt on this one, and then I'm not sure what to do about the butterfly. I'm having a look, because I do believe that there are I might be able to get some little butterflies. Right, so I'm just going to stitch all the way around here now at 1/4 of an inch on that, and we're going to make sure that is on the top so that we don't get any tucks in it like that. Okay, so let's get the sewing machine. Okay, so I'm just coming in now, and I'm starting on that seam. I'm just going to come in, go back stitch, and I'm going to go all the way around. And I've just realised I haven't zigzagged that piece, so I will come back and zigzag that piece as well. There we go. Keep those nice and lined up with the top. So you will need to come around underneath and take out those stitches, those tacking stitches, because we are only sewing at 1/4 of an inch on this. Your tacking stitches, both rows will show, but they should pull out really easily because we did them on a 7, so that should come out really easily. Just going around. Just here, I'm going to change to a zigzag stitch now. I'm going to come around and zigzag all the way around. That'll just keep this neat now. Stop any loose ends coming out in that. Okay, so back to there. And whilst we're here, I'm just going to lift this up very carefully and push that down over like that, and I will catch that edge which we didn't zigzag there. That's it. Back stitch. Come down and get that. Okay, there we go. Right, so that's that little part of the skirt on, all looking lovely. So I'm going to come in now and just put on our gathering stitch on our waistband, but remember with our waistband we are keeping that piece open, so we're just going to pop this on. We're going to put our 2 rows of stitching in, so I'm going to come in, I'm going to do our first row, so we want just straight stitches, but we want those big stitches. Okay, and we're just going to do our first row with our needle on this side of the foot. No back stitch at all, and we're leaving a gap there, so we're just going to lift it. We're going to pull that out, nice long thread, slide it back in under and start again, and we're going to put our foot exactly where we finished, but we're going to move our needle onto the other side. Okay, so that is like that, and then we're going to come all the way around. Let's just move that stitch up. stop where we started, so we got enough room to get that elastic in. Okay, pull those out, and then we'll gather this, and so it is the 6.5 inches, the same as the skirt. Okay, right, let's pull that out. There we are. Make sure I get the right threads. That one. That's that one. And I want the other one, which is here. Oops. Just there. Make sure you turn your stitches back to ordinary stitches before you start stitching anything else. Right, and then just start gathering it up. Have I got the right one here? Yeah, I have. That's it. So I'm going to gather this around to 5.5, and then we're going to just stitch those, pin those together, and we will be done. And we just have to put the elastic in. So those gatherings go all the way around, but I want it to be, that's it, 6.5. So that's how much I want it to be. So let's get all these threads, all these long ends here. Those bits, those bits, those bits, those bits, all of it. There together. And I'll get my pin and pop it in. There we go, and then I'll just wind this around it. Stop it from coming undone. So you can see me doing that. Just wind that around a couple of times. That'll stop that from coming undone. And then I'll just spread these gathers out all the way around. Now you could have just half of this gathered at the back, and like I did on the skirt, or you can have the whole thing like this. There we are. Right, so make sure that's about even. You got your gathers even, and that is about even. I think I need to put it in just a tiny bit more. It's looking like it needs it just a tiny bit more. Let's just check it now. 6, tiny bit more. It's just the tiniest bit. Right, so now you've got this piece here, and this is where you've got that piece open for your elastic to go in. She says, and she's gone right over the top there. Just going to open that a bit more. That's better. There and there. Okay, and then we're just going to pin these two pieces together. So you want to pin it where that pin is. You can undo that one now. Pop that one on, and make sure you've got, if you've got a right side and a wrong side, make sure you put them to that way on your fabric. I think mine's all right, is it? Just check it around. This looks fine. Yeah, I think that's okay. Thought I had a little snip in mine. Right, okay, I think that's fine. So that's going like that. So we've got where our, oh, I did have it. Where's it gone? Where our seam is, and we're going to put our seam on top of our seam. Okay, and we're just going to come around, and we're going to gather the two pieces together. So if you're brave, you can just do it without pinning. Okay. I'm going to put it on. I'll come on that 1/4 inch. I go right over the top of my sewing machine. Like so. There we go. Okay, and we're just going to stitch all the way around. Making sure you got both pieces. Just remembering to keep that hoe when we get to the end. Where's my end? Come on. Oh, I don't think I've gone over the end. Not too far. Where's the end? That's here. So I'm just going to run all the way around with a zigzag on this. And my batteries are on their very last legs, so I'm just going to see if I can get finished. Remember to leave that hoe when you get back to the beginning. hole there, so I'll just do a back stitch. Okay, and leave that hole. Alright, so I'm coming off. That was good. I just ran out of spool as well. Okay, so I should take that now and we shall thread some elastic into it. So I have got my piece of elastic. I'm just going to come in now and I'm going to thread it in. Oh, it's got caught up, sorry, what was it? Right, so I put my piece of elastic onto a pin and I'm just going to come in and thread it through. Okay, I'm going to go around this way. Let's get it in. Okay, I'm just going to go all the way around. And I think what the best thing to do is to measure it to your particular doll, rather than me to say, oh, you'll need this much or whatever. I've got like about half a metre here. So you could probably get away with using a 1-inch piece of elastic for this. I just happen to have a 3/4 inch piece, but it should be fine. It's pretty good. It's a tight, if you go for a 1-inch, it is reasonably tight in there, so that's why I've gone for 1/4 inch, but you can do either. Okay, pull that one along, and so it's just going to have a little gathered waist or skirt. Come back out again, pop it onto Phoebe, and then we'll just measure it for her size. And as I say, Phoebe is a 12.5 inch waist with her button. It's about 1/2 inch bigger than the other dolls. Just come out there, bring my pin back out where I came in, if I can find where the hole is. Should be easy because the other piece is sticking in it. It's not far enough, I don't think. Let's pull myself along it further. That's it, and then pull it out. Okay, cool. There we go. Okay. Right, so then I'm just going to pop it onto Phoebe, pull it out a bit, like that coming out. So I pulled it all the way around and that's sort of nicely gathered in there. Let's pull that piece not in that way. So that back piece is in there. That's it, that's better. Right, let's get her. Okay, and I'm just going to slip it on. You don't want it too tight that the children can't get it on, or you yourself can't get it on. You're making it for yourself. There we go. Right, so you can have it here, so it's just below her waist, like below her button if you want to, or you can have it up on her button. It all depends how long you want your skirt to be. Alright, so I'm just going to pull mine up a little bit. There you go. And that's looking great. Okay, so there it is. So I'm now going to take this off, back over, but I'm going to measure what size piece of elastic we need to join here. So I'm taking my pin out, pull it out a little bit. There. And then push this elastic back through. I don't want it too tight on her. Let's move it around. That's better. Okay. So I'm going to take those two pieces of elastic there. I'm going to put a pin on this side of it. First stuck there. Put a pin in like that. And then I'm going to cut those pieces off there. Right, and then I'm going to take it off really carefully so I don't pull that pin out. There we go. Oh, it's lost her knickers. My goodness me. What I'll be doing. This is definitely not an X-rated film, Phoebe. Right, let's pop you to one side, grab the sewing machine, and we'll stitch this. You can either hand stitch it, or you can just run across it, backwards and forward it across on a machine. So just go to the machine and do that. Okay, so I'm just going to run across here, back, and back across. This is easier to do than the thinner piece for the top because it's much wider. Back again. Just want to do those extra couple of stitches because if you are making it for a child, they do tend to pull at it. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that off, and then I'm going to cut that nice and close to my stitches. Pop that back inside. And I'm just going to run across. If you pull it a bit, it should just pop inside. There you go. I'm just going to run across where we had those stitches, where it wasn't stitched over. So I'll run across here just like that. There we go. So go back to where we were there and just run across. Do back stitch. And right across. There we go. And then do back stitch. And then we're just going to take that out, and then we're going to just do, some zigzags just across there, where there are no zigzags. Okay, where the zigzags end, just here. Okay, I'm just going to come straight across to there and do that. So change to my zigzag stitch. And back again. And that's it, finished. And there is your little skirt. So we'll see if we can get some pictures of her wearing it. Okay. So here she is, and she's looking amazing. So here she is all finished. I decided not to put the lace on the bottom of the skirt, but what I have done is added in some bees onto the skirt, and I was able to find a butterfly. I can only get one, but I'm going to try and get some more, and I'm going to try and find where I can get them from. I found that one in a little shop, and they just had the one, but I thought it was really cute. She looks really, really sweet in it. I pulled it down off the shoulders. You don't have to have it off the shoulders. I just thought that was a different look you could have, and I think she looks really gorgeous in it. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you would like to subscribe, you will be very welcome. And we will also be making a headdress for her as well. So come along and join me for that next week. Okay, goodbye.